Can't go away, girl, I'ma need you. Play your games like they might take it to an Ivy League school. Won't get Hall of Fame dick from a minor league dude. I see pussy, other people need food. Only got a little time, man, I ain't tryna spend it. Arguing about who ain't giving who attention. Tarting up the engine, need to reboot. I see pussy, other people need food. And I use every bone in my body. Keep on holding on to your trust. I know you don't want nothing to do with me, but just one more time, let's make love. One more time, it ain't much. Fuck 'em all, let's be us. Somersault to sweetness. Call late drunk, you hang up. What a mess I made of. Sense I make none. It's complicated, keeping me up late. Can't concentrate, you're always on my brain. If it's love, then why the fuck it come with pain? I just think that's some bullshit. Okay, I seem inviting. Trust me, she's a titan. This week she like 'em, next week they fighting. Need protection, all your dress is bulletproof. You safe with me, girl.
I can't keep on losing you.
Where the hell you going? Where you taking this trip to?
Wait,
Don't think to.
I can't keep on losing you.
Where the hell you going?
Wait,
Where the hell you going?
I can't keep on losing you over complications. Gone too soon. Wait, we was just hanging. I can't seem to hold on to. Dang, the people that know me best, the key that I won't forget. Too soon. I can't keep on losing you.
Can't keep losing you. Can't keep losing you. Can't keep losing you. Can't keep losing you. Can't keep losing you. Can't keep losing you. Can't keep losing you. Can't keep losing you. Can't keep losing you. Can't keep losing you. Can't keep losing you. Can't keep losing you. Can't keep losing you. Can't keep losing you. Can't keep losing you. Can't keep losing you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Through the Rabbit Hole with Leah. Unfortunately, today is the last episode of the season at Slim Radio, but we will be back in some way, shape, or form later on. I'm very excited for today's episode because we will be speaking with Freek Wallach, the night mayor, the Nachtburgemeester of Amsterdam. He's a very interesting character. He's a poet, artist, and events organizer, alongside working in the city's nightlife as the night mayor. And he's going to be joining us in a discussion about nightlife in Amsterdam. Obviously, there's so much I want to talk to him about because I spent years working in the city center. I worked in a bar, all kinds of nightlife places, even like fast food when I was younger. And that's a night. If you're doing night shifts there, it's a crazy place. You do encounter a lot of the nightlife, especially the, I wouldn't say funkier side, but you can imagine what I mean. So I want to talk to him about all of this, especially having seen the nightlife develop in the city for years, like throughout the years, new regulations being enforced and all of this. So much to talk about. Super excited for this. He's spoken a lot about the solidarity and community found in nightlife, which is a big, important part of it. And it's really, I think for a lot of people, it means a lot. So we will be going through that, and then like how they're working, how him and the municipality are working together to keep the nightlife of the city vibrant. And he's spoken about how it can affect and even save people from bad situation, how it can save people and keep up communities, especially people who don't really fit the status quo. So we're going to address another issue, like the death of nightlife in various cities. He's mentioned like Berlin and London, and I was reading even like Miami. The nightlife is dying there because of the manosphere influencers, and they're like kind of taking over and just ruining the vibe for everybody else, and that's really not good. So we're gonna discuss how to keep the city alive at night and how to still keep it safe for everybody. And he had a TED talk about this, so you should also listen to a TED talk if you're interested. Like, he knows a lot about the nightlife. He really knows what he's talking about. Before he comes, we're gonna play some summer tunes. It's a super nice and summery day today. It's been super nice and summery for the past few days, which makes me very happy as a Finnish person. I didn't grow up with a lot of sunlight, so whenever I can get some vitamin D, super excited to just sit in the sun. I went swimming today. Gonna go barbecue, probably swim again after this. So we're gonna play my tunes. These are like my tunes for like sitting at the park in the sun, or like a car ride with the roof open or windows open and a sea breeze on your face. This is what this playlist reminds me of. It's all kinds of artists. You'll hear some Kendrick Lamar, Anderson .Paak, some Schoolboy Q, definitely on this playlist. So enjoy, and we will be back for a discussion soon. Yes, I can hear you. this song is from when I was starting off radio in Cork. I would play this song like as my intro. This is not the one I meant to play initially, but it was on the list, so yeah, it brings me back to my Cork days doing broadcast.
I've been going silly for the west side. You might catch me rolling where the reps ride. Ain't no opposition, I'm the best ride. I might take my city on a test drive. You don't wanna see me on a good day. You don't wanna see me on a bad day. I was just a nigga with some hoop dreams. Now I'm in the league, bitch. Now I'm in the league, bitch. I can slam dunk, but I just lay low. Smoking marijuana till I wake up. May not understand me cause it's sorry. And I don't really give a damn how y'all feel. Baby, I'm just trying to let my hair down. Baby, I'm just trying to let my hair down. Everybody's watching, I'm aware now. But I can't find a reason I should care now. Baby, I'm just trying to let my... If I take off my coat, do you promise to stay? If I give you my heart, would you throw it away? Do you mean what you say when you tell me you love me? Do you really? Do you really?
Bitty bitty bitch, as a numerologist, got your number where I live. I'ma get you out of pocket like a quarterback blitz. That's an everyday faucet, make it wet, make it red. Skeletons in your closet, but your past don't exist. Got a pad on your list, got a pad on your lock. Calabas ain't the move, that's where everybody live. Plus the mountain is hot, you forgot what you got.
Hold up, nuisance. I recommend I'm on with acoustics. I recommend a beer for the juices. I recommend you live where the truth is. Psychedelic views and affinity pools your check, you know. Once I sweat them edges out. Head down like vanity. I got the fuck ups, I got the damage fees, I got the gold dust, I got the anesthesia when you chose up. This ain't a fantasy, we about to go up. See, underhanded me, never got no love, but understanding me, maybe can mold us. And
baby, I'm just trying to let my hair down. Baby, I'm just trying to let my hair down. Everybody's watching, I'm aware now. But I can't find a reason I should care now. Baby, I'm just trying to let my... If I take off my coat, do you promise to stay? If I give you my heart, would you throw it away? Do you mean what you say when you tell me you love me? Do you really? Do you really?
Saw that thing so beautiful. She just hit my heart, oh. Full force and she got me like. I be like, baby, Why you so fine? Got to make you mine. So hard to find. Baby, like, oh, how'd you do the thing? The way that you do it, and she ain't even show nothing. She be walking around so confident, so heaven sent. I think she was meant to knock them daylight. Like, girl, you so fine. Oh, 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 yeah. Girl, you rockin' like, ooh. She was so sublime, super fine. She was never lying, strutting in the heels or her slides. Either way, eyes on her every single day, week, year. Everyone wondering how she does it with no fear. All that confidence, was it heaven sent? Does it come within? Does it come run out? I don't know. She'll just have them running out and in. Man, they want to sin, talking deadly sin with Mrs. Lady. I don't understand why she hit them like, hey, like, girl, you knock 'em dead. Oh, oh, oh. How you doing, things you doing? Woo. Yeah, yeah. Baby, you knock 'em dead. I'm already said. Dream about her all day. I think about it with her clothes off. I'm riding round with my system pumping LSD. I look for ways to say I love you, but I ain't into making love songs. Baby, I'm just rapping to this LSD. She ain't a stranger to the city life. I introduced her to this hippie life. We make love under pretty lights, LSD. I get a feeling it's a trippin' night. The mother drugs just don't feel me right. Girl, I really fucking want love, sex, dreams.
place. Feeling that you crazy. Love, sex, dreams. It started in Hollywood. Dreaming, sharing love. Tongue that lost for words. 'Cause my feelings just said it all. Party just started up. Dreaming, sharing words. Been staying for way too long. Said I really wanna let it go. Feeling low sometimes when the light shines down, makes me high. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Feeling low sometimes when the light shines down, makes me high. Can you feel it? It started in Hollywood. Dreaming and sharing love. My tongue that lost for words. 'Cause my feelings just said it all. I look for ways to say I love you, but I ain't into making love songs. Baby, I'm just rapping to this LSD.
One of y'all niggas gon' be fucking with me. I got 2 bad bitches gon' be rubbing my feet. I got 3 young niggas down to bust at their heat. And all y'all ain't got nothing on me. Ooh, now one of y'all niggas gon' be fucking with me. I got 2 bad bitches gon' be rubbing my feet. I got 3 young niggas that to bust at their heat. And all y'all ain't got nothing on me.
Okay, put your fucking hands up, this the fucking anthem. Smiling cause I'm young, rich, black, and I'm handsome. Not to mention wealthy, ass on a healthy young millionaire. What the fuck can you tell me? Smell me? Nigga, that's Chanel cologne. I'm in Europe with the tourists with no cellular phone.
Like, ooh, sound like rich nigga problems. I hit a bad bitch with a fist full of condoms. In the randomness of risky menages. Like, get the hair right, she can get what she want. If it spits, then flaunt it. My drip like a faucet. She told me she was pregnant. I ain't even take the motherfucking dick out my pocket yet.
The opposite, she want me to fly her, so I cop the jet. Must be thinking I'm a one-way ticket on a runway. Dripping in my feng shui, sipping on a Sunday.
One of y'all niggas gon' be fucking with me. I got 2 bad bitches gon' be rubbing my feet. I got 3 young niggas down to bust at their heat. And all y'all ain't got nothing on me. Ooh, now one of y'all niggas gon' be fucking with me. I got 2 bad bitches gon' be rubbing my feet. I got 3 young niggas that to bust at their heat. And all y'all ain't got nothing on me.
I bought a Montclair coat for the times where it broke.
I'ma wear it in the summer on LeBron James boat.
Front row,
Duh, bro.
we don't sit on nosebleeds.
Ain't your pockets obese?
They won't fit in those seats.
Ain't we like a cold team?
Nigga Shaq and Kobe.
Like back in 03.
I was only like 6,
I was like 16.
but I can give her 16.
I can make a bitch scream.
That's a bit extreme.
I got a thick ball, bitch, I call her Miss Clean. My drip frosty like Halls and Listerine. And we all stars, you hardly 6'3".
Yeah, I had to ball hard to harvest these dreams.
Swear to God, me too.
No Harvey Weinstein, the coupe was lime green, my wrist was blinding.
We party in South Beach, Ferraris and blue cheese.
Fuck does that even
Nigga,
mean?
just let the hook sing. One of y'all niggas gon' be fucking with me. I got 2 bad bitches gon' be rubbing my feet. I got 3 young niggas down to bust at their heat. And all y'all ain't got nothing on me. Ooh, now one of y'all niggas gon' be fucking with me. I got 2 bad bitches gon' be rubbing my feet. I got 3 young niggas that to bust at their heat. And all y'all ain't got nothing on me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yo, go. Oh, oh, luxury. Chitty ching ching, could buy anything, cop that. Oh, oh, collard greens. 3 degrees low, make it hot for me, drop that. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, yeah, shit, king shit, stop this. Yeah, yeah, with the shit. Ay, oh, 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 oh. Down with the shit. Yeah, this, yeah, down with the shit. Smoke this, drink this, straight to my liver. Watch this, no tick. Yeah, I'm the nigga, gang rap, Xmas. Mo shots I deliver, faded, Vegas. Might sponsor the killer, shake it, break it. Hot for the winner, drop it, copy. Eyes locked on your inner object, rock it, blast, blast, new beginnings, lovely, pinky. How not? I remember fiending. Gimme some. Prick the freckles off your face. Frenchy freaking swapping tongues. Click my link and stretch your buns. Lose your dental, make it numb. Blow it, baby, no Saddam. Icky, icky, icky. Fucking in the car service. Thank you for the carpool. Chromosome thoughtful. Probably off a narco and gas, not the arco. Poppin' since the intro. You shopping from the window. Play my favorite tempo. Oh, oh. Luxury. Chitty ching ching. Could buy anything. Cop that. Oh, oh. Collard greens, 3 degrees low, make it hot for me, drop that. Oh, 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 yeah, yeah, shit, king shit, smoke this, yeah, yeah, with the shit. Ay, oh, 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 down with the shit. Yeah, down with the shit.
Hold up, biatch. This your favorite song. Translation, ven aquí mami así culo. Tú quiero que mi huevo si papi mores espero chupase puto pendejo el pinche cabrón. Let's get it nice like this, I'm a night like this. Sword in my hand, I fight like this. And I'm more than a man, I'm a god. Bitch, touche on guard. Two-pay trap and a two-tits pop out of that tank top and bra. And when I say do, bitch, that BK dog.
She wants some more of this, I give her more of this, I owe her this. In fact, I know she missed the way I floored this. I'm focused, I know my Houston partners drop a 4 on this and focus and slow it down.
Alright, let me blow this bitch, I'm famous, I blame this on you. Cash in the mirror, hang it, my penthouse roof. Skyline the clearest, watching your optics. Popping out, you look the weirdest. Pop my top on the 105, head with no power steering.
Oh, oh, luxury. Chitty ching ching, could buy anything, cop that. Oh, oh, collard greens, 3 degrees low, make it hot for me, drop that. Oh, 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 damn, yeah, shit, king shit, smoke this, yeah, yeah, with the shit. Ay, oh, 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 down with the shit. Yeah, down with the shit. Bummy nigga famous, straight from the bottom, broke niggas hate it. Still never robbed them guns in the basement. Out left, have a problem, Kush be my fragrance. Me love marijuana, function on fire. Burn the roof off this month of sight, water's calling. Go crazy like no other weed, steady blowing. Pass the boy to my mama, runs in the family. But puff, keep a nigga fiendin' on. Faded, ride. Shot glass, super size. She gon' get some dick tonight. Meet me at the W and no, it's not the west side. Stick it up your south side. Baller, futuristic, groovy gangster with an attitude. What these niggas make a year, I spin that on my daughter's shoes. Smoking weed and drinking, all the college students loving Q. We gon' turn it out until the neighbors wanna party too. Luxury, chitty ching ching, could buy anything, cop that. Oh, oh, collard greens, 3 degrees low, make it hot for me, drop that. Oh, 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 damn, yeah, shit, king shit, smoke this, yeah, yeah, with the shit. Ay, oh, 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 down with the shit. Yeah, down with the shit. Ay, oh, oh, oh.
from Detroit, that machine gun, spray boy, and it's gon' hit some. New coupe, been whipping them. New boots, where you get them done? Payroll, might put you on the table and spread you out like some yayo. I'm not hard, no bitch, you don't know shit. You just want on my money. I was hopeless, now focus. Who the fuck is the party? And now hold this, oh shit, that's it, so sick, no shit. Damn, I'm getting too fucking over this.
Yeah, but still is explosive with just load the clip. Two pistols on hip, both the grip. I hold them at shoulder width. Took a stab in the dark and broke the tip of my knife off, but your throat is slit. Cause I'm cutthroat to the utmost with it, the ultimate. I just let the poker chips fall what they were supposed to fit. Now those days are over. Scrappy changing sofas, trying to save it Kroger. So why would I give a fuck about that? Having Trader Joe for how about that? I'm paid as Oprah. Think I may have broke the scale cause the wait is over. But wait, hold up, cause they say I
almost lost it. I had to reach back and lock it. Yeah, you almost got me. I had to reach back and lock it. Yeah, you almost, but I got it. You almost, but I got it.
So sit there and act pathetic and sulk, cause I'm getting green, Incredible Hulk. Cause I usually get it in bulk, but I still will stomp your head to a pulp. You want smoke, got the decal like method man. So get ready to die from secondhand. Get a whiff of the doctor's medicine like sedatives. You get popped, Excedrin, cause you can get it like over the counter. Like I just left the damn concession stand. A mic in my hands, a weapon, I put that on everything like ranch. I'll never land, I'm too fly, I don't plan to ever Cinderella man. What I am is better than every single one of you, whether separate or all of you band together. And I put the game on the pill. Now my shady babies are all stillborns, meaning abortions that live cause they were stillborn. I can heal them with nail spawn. You about to experience euphoria. True warrior, got the plug like True Goya. Give me the cue like I'm schoolboy, and I treat the beat like a pit bull with judo with true joy and destroy it, cause boy
I almost lost it. I had to reach back and lock it. Yeah, you almost got me. I had to reach back and lock it. Yeah, you almost, but I got it. You almost, but I got it.
I got a bone to pick. I don't want you monkey mouth motherfucker sitting in my throne again. I'm mad, but I ain't stressing. True friends, one question. Bitch, where you and I was walking. Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody wanna cut the legs off him. Kunta, black man taking no losses. Oh yeah. Bitch, where you and I was walking. Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody wanna cut the legs off him. When you got the yams. What's the yams? The yam is the power that be. You can smell it when I'm walking down the street. Oh yes we can, oh yes we can. I can dig rapping, but a rapper with a ghost rider. What the fuck happened? Oh no! I swore I wouldn't tell. But most of y'all sharing bars like you got to buy the bunk in a two-man sale. A two-man sale. Something's in the water. And if I got a brown nose for some gold, then I'd rather be a bum than a motherfucking bum. Oh yeah. Bitch, where you and I was walking. Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody wanna cut the legs off him. King Kunta, black man taking no losses. Oh yeah. Bitch, where you and I was walking. Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody wanna cut the legs off him. When you got the yams. What's the yams? The yam brought it out of Richard Pryor. Manipulated Bill Clinton with desires. 24/7, 365 days times 2. I was contemplating getting on stage just to go back to the hood, see my enemy and say, oh yeah. Bitch, where you and I was walking. Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody wanna cut the legs off him. King Kunta, black man taking no losses. Oh yeah. Bitch, where you and I was walking. Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody wanna cut the legs off him.
You goat mouth mammy fucker.
I was gonna kill a couple rappers, but they did it to themselves. Everybody's suicidal, they didn't even need my help. This shit is elementary, I'd probably go to jail if I shoot at your identity and bounce to the left. Stuck a flag in my city, everybody screaming Compton. I should probably run from here when I'm done, to be honest. And I put that on my mama and my baby boo too. 20 million walking out the court building, whoa, whoa. Oh yeah, fuck the judge, I made it past 25, and now I was a little nappy-headed nigga with the world behind him. Life ain't shit but a fat vagina, screaming, Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Limo tinted with the gold plate, straight from the bottom, Mr. Belly of the beast. From a peasant to a prince to a motherfucking king. Oh yeah? Bitch, where you and I was...
By the time you hear the next pop, the funk shall be within you.
Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Coulter, everybody wanna cut the legs off. King Coulter, black man taking no losses. Oh yeah? Bitch, where you and I was walking. Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Coulter, everybody wanna cut the legs off. I remember you was conflicted, misusing your influence. Why so sad? Walking around with them blue faces. She say I'm down on my luck and it's something I gotta have. Blue faces. I hit the bank today and told them color me back. Blue faces. Yeah, that new money, and it's breaking me down, honey. 2 tears in a bucket, I cry with you. But I can never lie with you. I can never afford not to afford. I can never put my plans to the side with you. I can never see a red light like a deer with a headlight. I freeze up when I read up. See, I barely have patience, and you're relating. Only the moment to complete us. Why you hate to work for it? The reason I never went to work for it. See, a 9 to 5 was so job turkey, but when Thanksgiving came, that check didn't hurt me. You plead the 5th, I read the 5th Amendment. We both criminals with bad intentions. They say time heals all, but if I could shortcut my success, Corvettes by tomorrow. Now why you so sad? Walking around with them blue faces. She say I'm down on my luck and it's something I gotta have. Blue faces. I hit the bank today and told them color me back. Blue faces. Yeah, that new money, and it's breaking me down, honey. My homegirl got a credit card scam. She got a scholarship to college, but she don't give a damn. Intuition got a broke bitch wishing. She tell me this on the phone with the noodles in the pan. I know you woman, I console you woman. You feel like the universe owe you woman. Oh, the anticipation of hoping you can make it. Bitches don't prosper chasing education, but you're talented and can't handle it. And your homegirls can't be your manager. 365 times 4 plus more. If you can't get it right, tell me, do you got the stamina? But shit ain't no money like fast money. Even today I'm considered a crash dummy. A rapper chasing stardom. How can I fast forward my accolades better than all them? Why you so sad? Walking around with them blue faces. She say I'm down on my luck and it's something I gotta have. Blue faces. I hit the bank today and told them color me back. Blue faces. Yeah, that new money, and it's breaking me down, honey. I wrote this song looking at a broke home, baby. Broke home, baby. You know the poverty stricken, the little broke boy and babies. Broke boy and babies. Somebody yell Kendrick, American, the show is crazy. Then I said, why? Then they looked me in the eye and said, nigga, you fucked up. You're banking on good luck. You're wishing for miracles. You never been through shit. You're grinding still. Go you settle for everything. Complain about everything. You say you're so cracked. My word amphetamine. Your projects ain't shit. I live in a hub, bitch. I'm living to keep warm. You're living to pay rent. I prayed my way through by waiting on outlet. You played your way through by living in sci-fi. Bullshitting yourself and talking to strangers. Same thing go for the ones you came with. Well, y'all came on the boat looking for hope. And all you can say is that you're looking for dope. These days ain't no compromise. And your pain ain't mine's half the time. A brand new excuse ain't shit to me. Bitch, I made my moves with shackle feet. Cape Town.
In today's day and age, we practice the self-pity of taking the easy way out. You ain't on them, him, and her. But when a blessing take too long, that's when you go wrong. You selfish motherfucker.
Why so sad? Walking around with them blue faces. She say I'm down on my luck and it's something I gotta have. Blue faces. I hit the bank today and told them color me back. Blue faces. Yeah, that new money and it's breaking me down, honey.
Pimp, pimp. Hooray!
Pull up.
Frank,
Headshot.
Frank,
Sit down.
Frank,
Stand up.
Frank,
Pass out.
Frank,
Wake up.
Frank,
Fade it.
Frank,
Fade it.
Frank.
Now I done grew around some people living their life in bottles. Granddaddy had the golden flask, backstroke every day in Chicago. Some people like the way it feels. Some people want to kill their sorrow. Some people want to fit in with the popular. That was my problem. I was in a dark room, loud tunes, looking to make a vow soon that I'ma get fucked up, filling up my cup. I see the crowd mood changing by the minute, and the record on repeat. Took a sip, then another sip. Then somebody said to me, nigga, why you babysitting? Only 2 or 3 shots. I'ma show you how to turn it up a notch. First you get a swimming pool full of liquor, then you dive in it. Pool full of liquor, then you dive in it. I wave a few bottles, then I watch them all fly. All the girls wanna play, they watch. I got a swimming pool full of liquor and they dive in it. Pool full of liquor, I'ma dive in it.
Pull up.
Frank,
Headshot.
Frank,
Sit down.
Frank,
Stand up.
Frank,
Pass out.
Frank,
Wake up.
Frank,
Fade it.
Frank,
Fade it.
Frank.
Okay, now open your mind up and listen to me, Kendrick. I'm in your conscience. If you do not hear me, then you will be history, Kendrick. I know that you're nauseous right now, and I'm hoping to lead you to victory, Kendrick.
If I take another one down, I'ma drown in some poison, abusing my limit. I think that I'm feeling the vibe. I see the love in her eyes. I see the feeling of freedom is granted as soon as the damage of vodka arrived. This how you capitalize. This is parental advice. And apparently, I'm over influenced by what you are doing. I thought I was doing the most, and someone said to me, nigga, why you babysitting? Only 2 or 3 shots. I'ma show you how to turn it up a notch. First you get a swimming pool full of liquor, then you dive in it. Pool full of liquor, then you dive in it. I wave a few bottles, then I watch them all fly. All the girls wanna play, they watch. I got a swimming pool full of liquor and they dive in it. Pool full of liquor, I'ma dive in it.
Pull up.
Frank,
Headshot.
Frank,
Sit down.
Frank,
Stand up.
Frank,
Pass out.
Frank,
Wake up.
Frank,
Fade it.
Frank,
Fade it.
Frank.
Alright, you ride, bang. 1 chopper, 100 shots, bang. Hop out, do you, bang. 2 chopper, 200 shots, bang. Alright, you ride, bang. 1 chopper, 100 shots, bang. Hop out, do you, bang. 2 chopper, 200 shots, bang. Nigga, why you babysitting? Only 2 or 3 shots. I'ma show you how to turn it up a notch. First you get a swimming pool full of liquor, then you dive in it. Pool full of liquor, then you dive in it. I wave a few bottles, then I watch them all fly. All the girls wanna play, they watch. I got a swimming pool full of liquor and they dive in it. Pool full of liquor, I'ma dive in it.
Pull up.
Frank,
Headshot.
Frank,
Sit down.
Frank,
Stand up.
Frank,
Pass out.
Frank,
Wake up.
Frank,
Fade it.
Frank,
Fade it.
Frank.
We done together, provided, hit it like the alcohol. We can do like anything you want. I'm amazing, letter to my lady. I just wanna pleasure, check my catalog. In this life I come across fans and hoes, and I like to give my fans a rose. Curse of the talented, everywhere I go they wanna change clothes and pose. But my wife be in my dreams, bruh, no I couldn't see it. I saw a silhouette, I know I can make a way. But when I wake up alone, no, I just break out my phone. Thinking I can make as many songs about a lady when I haven't met her, but she only hit it on one cerebellum. If I say I love her, am I wrong? Am I crazy? Am I overzealous? But I know the feeling, and I'm never wrong. Swear that I've been gifted with a song in a million. It's intoxicating, get way on you, hit it like the alcohol. We can do like anything you want. I'm amazing, letter to my lady. I just wanna pleasure, check my catalog.
Thinking I can make this many songs about a lady, she be happy up, down. I be in my feelings, sometimes I be jealous, but I keep it thugging like it's Machiavelli. Ring, ring, in my celly. Remember you went bad on me, I won't forget it. You said you wanna tell me, don't want you tell it. In between the sheets, you know I got you yelling.
Thinking I can make as many songs about a lady when I haven't met her, but she only hit it on one cerebellum. If I say I love her, am I wrong? Am I crazy? Am I overzealous? But I know the feeling, and I'm never wrong. Swear that I've been gifted with a song in a million. It's intoxicating, get way on you, hit it like the alcohol. We can do like anything you want. I'm amazing, letter to my lady. I just wanna pleasure, check my catalog. Could it be monogamy ain't meant for me? Nah, that's way too reckless. I'd get too jealous. Could you be from the east or overseas? I learned my lesson. I'm way too western. Could you be my favorite ethnicity? I'm just undressing all of these sections of my thoughts. Thinking too hard. But I really wanna live. I can make as many songs about a lady when I haven't met her, but she only hit it on one cerebellum. If I say I love her, am I wrong? Am I crazy? Am I overzealous? But I know the feeling, and I'm never wrong. Swear that I've been gifted with a song in a million. It's intoxicating, get way on you, hit it like the alcohol. We can do like anything you want. I'm amazing, letter to my lady. I just wanna pleasure, check my catalog.
I know you want me, baby. I think I want you too.
I think I love you, baby.
I think I love you too. I'm here to save you, girl. Come be in Shady's world. I wanna grow together. Let's let our love unfurl. You know you want me, baby. You know I want you too. They call me Superman. I'm here to rescue you. I wanna save you, girl. Come be in Shady's world.
Oh boy, you drive me crazy.
Bitch, you make me call me Superman. Leap tall hoes in a single bound. I'm single now. Got no ring on his finger now. I never let another chick bring me down in a relationship. Save it, bitch. Babysit. You make me sick. Superman ain't saving shit. Girl, you can jump on Shady's dick. Straight from the hip. Cut to the chase. I tell a motherfucking slut to her face. Play no games. Say no names. Ever since I broke up with what's her face, I'm a different man. Kiss my ass. Kiss my lips. Bitch, why ass? Kiss my dick. Get my cash. I'd rather have you whip my ass. Don't put out, I'll put you out. Won't get out, I'll push you out. Puss blew out, poppin' shit. Wouldn't piss on fire to put you out. Am I too nice? Buy you ice. Bitch, if you died, wouldn't buy you life. What you tryna be my new wife? What, you Mariah? Fly through twice. But I do know one thing, no. Bitches, they come, they go. Saturday through Sunday, Monday. Monday through Sunday, yo. Maybe I'll love you one day. Maybe we'll someday grow. Till then, just sit your drunk ass on that fucking runway, ho. I can't be your Superman. Can't be your Superman. Can't be your Superman. Can't be your Superman. I can't be your Superman. Can't be your Superman. fuck, bitch, so what? That's about as far as your buddy goes. We'll be friends, I call you again. I chase you around every bar you attend. Never know what kind of car I'll be in. We'll see how much you be partying in. You don't want that, neither do I. I don't wanna flip when I see you with guys. Too much pride between you and I. Not a jealous man, but females lie. But I guess that's just what sluts do. How could it ever be just us two? I never loved you enough to trust you. We just met and I just fucked you. But I do know one thing, no. Bitches, they come, they go. Saturday through Sunday, Monday through Sunday, yo. Maybe I'll love you one day, maybe we'll someday grow. Till then, just sit your drunk ass on that fucking runway, ho. I know you want me, baby. I think I want you too.
I think I love you, baby.
I think I love you too. I'm here to save you, girl. Come be in Shady's world. I wanna grow together. Let's let our love unfurl. You know you want me, baby. You know I want you too.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show.
Could you turn that mine down just a little bit?
Of course.
Oh, thank you very much. Yes.
Nice. We're here with Freek Wallag, the Nachtburgemeester, the Night Mayor of Amsterdam. And you're also a poet, artist, and events organizer, right?
That's correct. And thank you for pronouncing the ch in my last name correct, and even more so, the one in the title.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining. It's a big pleasure to have you here. So, I'm very curious, how exactly would you describe the Night Mayor job, and, what does it entail?
I think part of the beauty is that you see that every single person's come before me, and as my successor will do after me, is that there's always a large amount of personal preference and how you take up the role, but some of the basics are always the same. You know, you're a connector, you're a strategist, you're a representative. So actually a big part of the job isn't at night. Okay. It's actually in the mornings. Yeah. Having to, have heated debates in municipal politics to make sure that the things you see and hear and feel at night are actually translated to urban politics, because that's kind of always where, the Night Mayor role tries to, fill in the gap, which is that distance. You're almost a translator. Yeah. But I also like the idea that, we have the word regelneef in Dutch, fixing cousin. Okay. If you need something fixed, you call your cousin. Yeah. And I feel like to a certain degree, you're also the city's fixing cousin.
And does it also involve being on the ground and, seeing what's going on in the city and then kind of communicating that to the city?
Absolutely. I think it's, at the end of the day, that's what I'm at least trying to do here, is that there is, I feel like we're getting more and more of a sense that if we want to make our voices heard, we need to operate as a cohesive political force, in some sense, for the same way that different scenes and different sectors have always made their voices heard, but we as nighttime citizens have often walked behind that. Yeah. And because of that, there's a growing discrepancy. So I think that's also the challenge of the job. I am out every single night, or at least 5 times a week, at least, to make sure that I, don't lose my touch. Because I was shaped by nightlife, but that doesn't mean that now that I have this position, I should become more distant from, the people I love, the scenes I love, and the places I love. Because then it would kind of lose the purpose. Yeah. But then you also have to be representable the next morning.
Yeah. Oh, it sounds like a double shift kind of thing almost.
It's a full-time job. It's a full-time job.
Really full-time. How do you work together with the gemeente, the municipality, so you see what's going on, then you bring them to the municipality, discuss them on meetings? Yeah?
You got it.
Okay, it's amazing.
And part of the challenge, I think, is also that you kind of have to fill in the gaps in the sense that a lot of what happens within a municipality, especially if you start tackling the provincial government as well, the national government as well, and kind of combine that with, again, another added level we have here in Amsterdam, which is that of the borough governments. It's a very complex system in which a lot of different islands aren't communicating. Yeah. So I work with arts and culture, but I also work with the public transport department. For example, the night metros that are now running during ADE, that's something we took up with the Chancellor of Transportation.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it took a year and a half of intense meetings to make sure that we got even that small win when it comes to public transport. Yeah. So it's really about trying to smell out where there are opportunities, and then kind of make sure that you're in the room to not just kind of have to floor yourself, but also kind of offer a podium and a stage for people who might not have that insight into city politics. Okay,
cool. How did you end up in this position?
In this position? Yeah. Well, right now I had to run past through the heat from Central Station to get here, and I'm still catching my breath. But in a more general sense, and I was very young when I began working in nightlife. Okay. So I had to move out when I was first started living on my own at 17. So then you're kind of, getting out of high school. You not necessarily have your diploma yet.
Yeah.
There aren't necessarily a lot of places where you can develop yourself, where you can make a living, pay your rent, find people, find like-minded people. And like a lot of people, I was quite lost.
Yeah.
So I ended up in I don't know, mostly the squad scene, the rave scene, and found some older folks and some of the more well-versed rave creatures who kind of took me under their wing.
Mm-hmm.
And through that, I was able to develop myself. But I also quickly realized that there is a horrible divide between politics and our communities.
Yeah.
There's a distance. And even before I became Nightmare, I already was involved in kind of trying to represent a lot of these venues and a lot of these places. Because I just noticed that there was a gap there. And I saw people I care about at risk.
Yeah.
So when the elections came, and we, of course, didn't have a Nightmare for 5 years before then, I was asked if I wanted to run. And then I was very honored and very proud that the people who voted, who were involved in the process, gave me the confidence to do this.
Okay, amazing. Yeah, I can kind of, in some ways, like relate to, especially being young, because I also moved out at 16, and then like the nightlife and raving scene, they were big parts. Like that's a big way of how I also kind of discovered myself. And like now I've calmed down a little bit, but like for years it was.
What is that like?
I don't know. Yeah, I worked at a bar, and then because I also started working a lot in the night scene. I mean, maybe Smart Shop isn't really night scene, but we'd hang out a lot, and like a lot of rave scene was also involved in that. So I was there for like, I did that for like 2 years, and then I worked at a bar for a year, and then I was kind of like, I'm kind of tired of the night shifts.
The bar we just talked about before, but maybe shall remain nameless.
Yeah, that one. And like I think after that, just like the night shifts, like they started really getting to me, because I felt like I was, I really liked it for a while, just like kind of feeling like being part of the nightlife was my job.
Yep.
But like after a while, I was just like, I want a daytime job.
The line between private and work starts to disappear quite quickly.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the risks.
Yeah.
So we started this care network together with Jelinek and some partners in the city, the Buurteam, for example, kind of as like a free of access point of care. As I said, I came back from a pretty pissed festival at Melkweg this weekend, and we were hanging out with one of my favorite rock bands. So clearly I had to, I'm already glad I still have something of my voice left. Yeah,
amazing. How have you seen the nightlife in Amsterdam develop in the past years, like maybe past 10-ish or whatever, however long you've been involved?
So I started off when I was 15.
Mm-hmm.
So even though I'm, that's the thing with the night shifts, I may not look like it, but actually I'm 18. So that's 3 years ago. No, so that's about 12 years ago, 13 years ago. A lot has changed. Let's start with that. We already kind of briefly spoke about the red light district.
Yeah.
Now, clearly, that's a neighborhood which has changed dramatically. 15, 20 years ago, you still had the very strong presence of the Hells Angels in the neighborhood, which has, of course, almost borderline fully disappeared over the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
The neighborhood itself has shrunk, but also the city at large has, of course, enormously changed.
Yeah.
North has changed, the Belmer has changed, New West has changed, every single part of the city has changed dramatically, and how that translates to nightlife is that I think that, let me think about this for a second. So one of the things that's unique about Amsterdam in comparison to other nightlife capitals is that we don't necessarily have a very strong ecosystem of clubs, in the sense that clubs aren't necessarily open for 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
Whereas in some other cities they are.
Yeah.
I went to Zagreb a little while ago, and have a club there that's been open for 50 years. Well, yeah, unheard of in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
So instead of that network, we have an ecosystem of collectives. And of organizations, of moving events.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is very different, and also kind of asks for a different sort of approach when you're trying to support nightlife. Because you're not trying to protect the building, you're trying to protect people, and that's also a little bit more immaterial in that sense.
Yeah.
But I feel like that movement has grown. But also what I find very exciting is that, there's always like a duality. On the one hand, licensed nightlife is struggling. If you have a licensed club, you're, in a lot of hot water, we don't have to tell you that. A lot of our friends who are running these places are struggling a lot with, opening up new venues or, maintaining the ones we already have.
Yeah.
But as a counterpoint to that, you see that there's this renaissance in the rave scene happening. All these house parties that started off as, these dingy, small events now kind of grown into, quite professional listening sessions.
Yeah.
There are speakeasies popping up all over the place. And I mean like actual speakeasies, not the, find their passport on the website, sort of speakeasies.
Yeah.
So I feel like and that's a movement which I think is very exciting. Because during the pandemic, you saw that a lot of people, of course, obviously locked inside.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's very easy to say, oh, they didn't learn how to party. But club etiquette to a certain degree, yes. Absolutely, you saw a generation that struggled and is struggling a little bit. We're kind of getting up to there, but also it's been a few years. That's kind of now starting to, balance out. But it is very interesting that all these people who were inside were able to kind of discover all these like-minded individuals. And you saw this new boom of subcultural sounds kind of emerging during the pandemic because people grew more and more convinced of what they enjoy. Because that was all we had to do. And if you wanted to enjoy music, you did it very niche in your own bedroom.
Yeah.
So now we have a very well-educated general public who know what they like and are way more conscious in the way they choose where and how they go out.
Yeah. Do you feel like there's been I've heard a lot about the gentrification of nightlife also being an issue, because tickets to some events will be like, I've seen tickets for like €100 for like a night out, and a lot of people have complained about that. And in some other cities, like in Helsinki, for example, this has resulted in like people just don't go out as much, because I feel like the culture and just like going out culture is very different there. So people will find alternative ways of still drinking, but it's very different from, people don't like throw big parties as much there. They're just saying like, yeah, people are just not going to go out and party. And I feel like here people find alternative ways, as you said, like people are kind of starting a maybe not new movement, but like kind of responding to that by throwing their own raves for cheaper. Like, do you think the night scene has gentrified in some ways?
So shortest answer, yes.
Yeah.
So beyond my work as night mayor, that's kind of the question I'm most concerned with, is how does gentrification kind of change our communities, change the nighttime in particular. But also, again, we're not dealing with a binary category. Once we start getting into galleries, collectives, that sort of spaces, communes. We're very much talking about maybe more of a night culture than necessarily just nightlife at nighttime. That is definitely one of the issues. You see that across the globe. That a lot of cities, for example, incomparable, but also maybe let's compare Las Vegas, the Strip, is now empty most of the year because it's just too expensive. You see it here in the city as well. One of the things you did see die out a little bit over the last few years is maybe, let's say, casual clubbing, as in the club hopping. And also that has for part to do with the new generation being more in tune with their preferences. So why would they go to 8 different clubs if they know I want to end up in that place? Because there's a DJ I enjoy, or there's a band I enjoy. But also it's because they don't have the money. Because if you're already spending, 30, 40, 50, 60 euros on a ticket, and then you're inside, and then you have to, you have alcohol prices or the high drink prices to consider. And then you also have to, be up again the next morning to pay for work your second or third job because your rent has been increased again. So, and that's also, I think, maybe something we tend to forget is that I think that's part of gentrification for nightlife, but that's almost the result and not necessarily the cause. And that we often tend to forget that all that we truly value about night culture comes at the end of the day from a place of necessity. All these sounds we enjoy, all these new different forms of expression we enjoy, all often at its core come from a place of having to. Because there wasn't a lot of alternative. Punk, hip-hop, drag, ballroom, techno, house, it's all very much DIY in its nature. So it has always been tied to the working class in our cities, to migrant communities in our cities. And as those are forced out of the city, that's always going to have massive repercussions on the art and culture that are left in a city to begin with. So in that sense, I think it's often more the result that there is a different sort of clientele, and the people who originally were heavily involved in nightlife for a big part are kind of forced out of the scene, and what's left is way more perceptible to, let's say, increased prices, to a different sort of nightlife, which I would, to a certain degree, describe as gentrified. So I think one of the interesting things in the city is that you see these two movements sometimes at odds with each other. Because it's not one way or the other, but it's definitely a threat to what we hold dear.
Speaking of like a clientele for a city's nightlife, so like the red light district in many people's minds kind of maybe doesn't cater to, but the main type of person, when you think about it, for a lot of people, it's like straight English guys and like other, not the most pleasant group of people maybe. And I'm curious if there are efforts to make it kind of more inclusive to all kinds of people, so that kind of everybody, especially people who don't fit like the status quo of the typical, main group of person that would go to the red light district, if there are efforts and like events kind of trying to open up the space for everybody.
I also think that to a certain degree is also the crying shame in all of this, is that particularly the red light district has this immense queer history and this immense migrant history compared to the rest of the city. Just to name one tiny example, but during the Second World War, Nazi officers were not allowed into the red light district.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they deemed the area so perverted that it was irredeemable and could only corrupt the spirits. And that was to a large part due to what they saw as libertine and queer access, basically. So that also meant that a place like Het Mandje, which already housing a big queer community at the time, was actually also home to queer Nazi officers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, who knew that they could they would be killed if they found out if their colleagues found out. But luckily, there was this one place in the city where they were not allowed to come.
Oh, wow.
There has been a continued trans presence in the neighborhood, a continued migrant presence in the neighborhood, and it's only over the last 20 years that you kind of see this immense commodification of the red light district, where it has become this place where indeed it feels like it's just starting to become a museum for British tourists.
Yeah.
But also I feel like that's on the one hand that's also a visitor perspective, in the sense that for a lot of people working there, this is their daily life.
Yeah.
And these are their colleagues, and these are their neighbors, and these are the people they care about.
Yeah.
So there's always, I think, like two sides to the coin.
Yeah.
But what I think is very exciting is that you kind of see this new generation of organizers in the area kind of reclaim a little bit of that space that we have lost. So, for example, as well, I was at the Red Light Drag Cabaret the other day at Casa Rosso, and you see that Casa Rosso, for example, has kind of been opening up their programming. So they've been doing events with bisex workers in the area, cultural events. They've been doing more queer-oriented events, kind of reclaiming what they deem to be the true spirit of the neighborhood, which is one that, yes, is sensual, and yes, is erotic, and yes, is sexy, but it is more inclusive maybe than what it has become.
Yeah.
And I feel like in that sense, I'm kind of optimistic, but we do need to start from a point of love and respect and dignity. And I feel like we are losing a lot of what makes the red light district great.
Yeah.
In the sense when we are just approaching it from oh, fuck that place, why would you ever go there? I think it's beautiful that people from across the globe come to Amsterdam to experience freedoms they can't at home. The sexual liberation they might discover here, I met this elderly British couple a little while ago who were in their 70s who came to Amsterdam because they wanted to smoke weed together for the first time. Yeah, by all technical standards, those are British drug tourists. But I am glad that they're coming. Yeah. But it's definitely it's this loop, and has always been the case. The more people there are from a dominant group in a certain very small area, the less welcome it starts to become for people who don't adhere to the norm. And the more, chip by chip, we actually start reclaiming a little bit of space, the more it starts feeling like a place that's open to all. And I feel like that's going to be part of the issue is, Red Light Jazz Radio has been doing, Pata has been doing, Hassi have been doing the organization, Oude Kerk, No Limits Art Castle, the Prostitution Information Center. Yeah. There are so many, Casa Rosso has been doing, there are so many beautiful organizations in the neighborhood who are also maybe finally getting the love they deserve and getting the support they deserve to kind of do this job they have to do. I think at the end of the day, if we're talking about wanting to restore a neighborhood, because that's basically what we're talking about, wanting to reclaim space and kind of better the situation, then it always needs to be done by neighborhood activists, by neighborhood organizers, and done from within the community. And I think that's now what we're hopefully finally going to be seeing more and more of. And I think some of the events we've seen are a very good start.
Yeah. No, I think that's great, and I'm very happy to hear all of that. I lived on the Oudezijds Achterburgwal.
Some of the worst of the worst, sometimes, let's say.
Yeah. It was on the other side of Damstraat, so it wasn't the craziest part. But I was 19 when I moved there, and I lived there for a few years. So in a way, I even grew up with it, and I've seen so many sides of it.
Yeah.
But for me, it's just a place. It's very interesting, very special place, but very interesting, and I just really didn't like the way so many of these certain types of tourists treated it. I think that was the big problem I had with it. So absolutely. I think with these initiatives, if it kind of changes people's mind on it, just be sex work and everything else that people associate with the red light district, this is a place to be open about it and respect it, and maybe learn more about it, because a lot of people, especially coming from different countries, different areas, even within the Netherlands, they really have this taboo idea of it, and it's funny to them a lot of the time, and they just don't respect it, especially working at a bar within that area. Some people just see it as a museum or
perverted Disneyland.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's also, but that's exactly what I think is part of the issue, because they don't approach it from a point of dignity, respect, and love.
Yeah.
And I think part of the issue we're now seeing is that we've co-opted some of that discourse.
Yeah.
Where we're also approaching it from an anti-sex work perspective, where we're also approaching it from an anti-nightlife perspective.
Yeah.
By the end of the day, I think we all kind of agree on what the issue is, and that's if you have 10,000 drunken British guy with nothing to do in two little streets during a hot summer day, that's just asking for trouble.
Yeah.
And that's and also the neighborhood has shrunk tremendously, so it used to be this entire area, and now we're just talking about a few streets. Meanwhile, options to get to Amsterdam by a cheap train or a cheap flight have only increased.
Yeah.
And now we're in this issue where we're maybe it wasn't a great idea to increase the amount of visitors while decreasing the area that we're bringing them into.
Yeah.
But blaming the sex workers for all this, no.
Yeah.
The amount of windows has halved in the last 30 years.
Really?
Yeah, it's honestly, if anything, we've kind of seen that the more areas you close with windows, the worse it gets in the areas that remain.
Oh, wow.
But I feel like the issue, what we need to tackle is maybe how people act in the neighborhood, who visits the area. Because again, if those streets are filled with Amsterdammers, the area is going to be different.
Yeah.
But it also means that we actually need to show up.
Yeah.
So if but then it also requires, let's be very honest, also very dramatic action when it comes to maybe the amount of tourists that visit. I feel like that's maybe that's gonna be the complicated choice.
Yeah.
More so than let's pick and choose what we think a decent red light district is supposed to look like.
Yeah. And how would you approach that? Because I remember the anti-British campaign that was showed to English people, and I feel like English people reacted to that as an advertisement.
Oh, absolutely.
Knowing English people.
It was clearly made by people who never met a drunk British person.
Exactly.
If we're talking about city, it was almost city marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was quite bad. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm very glad I wasn't involved with that.
Yeah.
So how would I tackle it?
I don't know if you have any ideas.
Well, I think so. We launched this alternative plan 2 years ago when when the discourse about the erotic center was getting a lot of traction again.
Okay.
Because I was of course approached by sex workers and nighttime organizers in the area, like, hey, this is the end of us. So we became involved in that as well. So we actually some of the plans that the municipality already had years ago under our previous mayor, to treat the area like a festival ground, in the sense that there's a lot you can do in crowd control, crowd movement, which isn't being done, and tackle it a bit more logistically. And they were supposed to enact that. Unfortunately, never got to it, even though I still think it's a great plan. And make sure that you can organize enough happening on the borders of the current area to spread out these groups over a larger plot of land. Let's say if you're now on Dam Square, looking straight ahead into the red light district, right across, busy, busy, busy. To your left, look into the Warmoestraat, busy, busy, busy. You look to your right, deserted.
Yeah.
There's nobody at the Nes, even though it has some of the lowest number of residents per square meter of any street in the city, and it has the most theaters per square meter of any place in the city. It is by all means already a nightlife street, just the one that's never visited.
Yeah.
So I feel like in part it's us having a slightly more creative approach to how we plan our cities. Let's say it's a creative challenge that asks for a creative solution.
Yeah.
And I think some of the things we've heard, like the Stay Away campaign, might lack a little bit of subtlety, creativity, and a little bit of love.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, well, we're even seeing just on some nights the kind of crowd control that they have there. Just the street's a one-way street. You have the guys in the red jackets, guys and girls in red jackets, and they're just moving the crowd around.
And it's absolutely been an improvement.
Yeah.
So I feel like if they had followed that line a little bit more, then I think that might also. But then you're getting into the problem with there not being enough handhaving.
Yeah.
And where do we deploy handhaving? We also want to create safer areas to party in on the edges of the city, which also demands some form of hand. So it's always a bit of a trade-off in that sense.
Yeah, I feel like the red jacket people are great in the sense of even their presence gives the illusion of authority, and I feel like people like, especially
As Nightmare, the illusion of a 40 is something I enjoy.
Yeah, like people just like behave a bit better
True.
when there's like people, you know, kind of crowd controlling, especially tourists. Like if they.
You think that's more applicable to tourists, more so than residents?
I think it probably helps residents, but I feel like when you come from a foreign country, you don't even know that they're not cops.
Yeah, you don't know that they're not armed. I think that's the
exactly.
thing.
Like, there's like a, you know, it comes off as, you know, they have authority, they're telling you where to go, what to do, and it just
True.
like gives like organization, and I feel like that's great. Because I feel like they also have them at the Rembrandtplein, and I feel like it brings a lot of, you know, calmness compared to, because I've seen those places like when there are no red guys and.
Yeah, no, it's a slightly different. Yeah, no, it's if you're talking. One of the gigs I had briefly was giving tours for the red light district while that was still allowed when I was a teenager, and it is already. That's the thing. I feel like we also need to look at the broader picture. It has gotten worse in some aspects, but it's also gotten a hell of a lot better in a lot of aspects. It's a lot safer than it used to be years ago. So I feel like we also need to, you know, kind of keep working on the things that work well, and kind of need to maybe readjust course where we noticed, like, I don't want to see, you know, another edition of the Stay Away campaign, for example. I feel like maybe that's, you know, it's all throwing out the baby with the bathwater. In this case, I would really wish we had thrown out the baby. So maybe, but yeah, no, I think we need. It's good to kind of look at it with a little bit of perspective. But I do agree. But we're part of the solution, and I think that's something that's often forgotten. You can't fix this area by just closing things. That's not going to help because they're still coming to Amsterdam. I can be in fucking New West or in North, and there are people coming up to me saying like, "Hey, do you know where the red light district is?" So they're still going to keep coming. They're still going to look for the place. So all we can do is make sure that there's fun stuff happening in other parts of the city, and to make sure that we as Amsterdammers keep showing up, so that they know it's not just a tourist place.
Exactly.
But we can't abandon the area and then be surprised that there are no Amsterdammers there.
And like having people treat it as a playground.
Yeah.
There's no like that's why it needs so much like a local presence and initiative.
Do we live here, people? You know, they're not nightlife organizers, but they do brilliant work in the area. You know, Red Light Art and Culture. Do some nightlife things, do some daytime things, but also do brilliant work. What we need is a new movement of neighborhood organizing. I think that's going to be the solution.
What are the plans currently for the new red light district? Like the one, because they decided, or they were talking about moving it to South.
The Erotic Center, So like I already said, I was heavily involved in the counter movement. Again, we organized an alternative plan. We were kind of leading the course and kind of trying to make sure that city council would abandon the plan. And I'm very glad that the plan no longer has a majority.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that took a lot of work, a lot of convincing by a lot of people. So I'm very, very proud of everybody who's kind of been doing that on behind the scenes over the last few years. Because as a city, we've lost a lot from a lot of people who don't necessarily always have a lot to give. Their time, their attention, their expertise, all in favor of making sure that a horrible plan doesn't go through. Because also, let's make one thing very clear. All the research kind of showed the same things, and that's that the Erotic Center would hurt all of the goals they were trying to achieve. Safety, tourism, you know, making sure to kind of combat crime behind sex work in the city. All of this would be more at risk in the new situation than it would be in the red light district. So now that they're forming a new government, well, by the last poll, 82% of the city, but it's been a few years. Maybe we're now at 90. Hope that they'll decide to drop it. I hope so too. It would, it would hurt a lot of people. You've seen similar situations happen in other cities where they've closed these areas and where a lot of these sex workers ended up on the street doing their job unlicensed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's the issue.
Yeah, like as somebody who maybe doesn't know as much about the logistics like behind this, like how does that work? Like what are the perspectives, especially of the sex workers, and like how does it impact them negatively? Because, you know, some people might hear the plan and think like, oh, you know, sounds great, you know, you kind of confine everybody into one place, but why? Could you like explain why it doesn't work?
Well, on the one hand, I think the moment you start a sentence with "let's confine this in one place," it's usually not from a place of love. Let's start off with that. The starting, and also, you know, immediately came through because, like, in the assignment given to architects to design this new erotic center, there were already like brief, like you can't see the entrance from the street, that sort of thing. Yeah, so it was all very hidden away, and also again, very different from that what has made the red light district operate in a safer fashion, which is kind of, local community looking out for each other. There's a lot of social control in that neighborhood, which is just in their particular field great, because it means you have colleagues. So that would already be at risk in the new red light in the new erotic center. But they kept kind of talking about, we'll close some windows there and then we'll open up some windows over there. But it's not like, moving furniture. It's not like if we close windows there now and then open up new windows there in 4, 5, 6, 7 years, these people are going to work there. And even more so that they already had plans to kind of want to include new people in the erotic center, which I think is also good. But it also means that you can't just transfer them one to one. Because you can't say we want those 50 people and then we want another 50 people where we're not building more workspaces. But beyond, on top of that, we've had like a tremendous shortage of workspaces as well for years. So closing them doesn't make any sense. And also, for what it's worth, I had to educate myself also more and more. I've worked in the area since I was a teenager, so I know some of these sex workers personally, and I've made plenty of friends there in the area. But you understand more of the logistics behind it, as you say. I feel like it's also part of the job, because that's also nightlife. Yeah, I mean, the area is nightlife, so we need at the end of the day, we need solidarity. We're dealing with a nomadic urban proletariat, whether or not we have made some slightly different choices in life. And I feel like that demands a little bit of solidarity.
No, I agree. Like, when I heard about it, especially having spent quite a bit of time in that area, and I've also like met, spoken to a lot of the sex workers myself, and it doesn't make any sense. And people would feel safer with a community around them, and not just being confined in a space with, this is how you're gonna do it. And then like it's just them, and then like the clients, and
on the edge of the city. None of it makes sense. Also, a lot of these sex workers live in the red light district because that's where they work. And that's the thing you kind of do see a lot still with, and I think that's one of the things we do have in common with sex workers, but also with nightlife organizers, is that we're still very much often seen as a problem to be contained. And kind of as something that you can, we're seen as a number. We need clubs, so let's have a club over there where it causes the least amount of trouble. We need sex workers, I guess, so let's just move them. Like, that's how it works. And I feel like there's a certain amount of dehumanizing happening in the plans, particularly with the erotic center, but you see with some other topics in nightlife as well, which I think kind of diminishes the fact that this is a very human industry, and that most of us who do end up working in the club kind of do this because we have no other place to go, and we appreciate the slight amount of tenderness and opacity we find there.
Like nightlife in general, I'm just using the term very broadly, but like it's such a space for people to express themselves, like their identity and culture, and just like be free. Even if it's just like dancing at a club all night, it might heal you in so many ways, or feel great if you had a terrible week or something terrible has happened. You can just let go with that. You can just be yourself and just enjoy.
Please continue.
Yeah, it's just an expression of yourself and culture, and feels like it should be born from a place of like culture and love, and not just we're gonna do this.
It's not necessarily something which thrives in a lot of bias and stigma. And I feel like that's something you kind of see. We're also becoming more prude. Again, I feel like the Amsterdam in particular has gotten very very suburbia. Unfortunately, there's a certain suburban mentality which kind of assumes that as long as a city becomes more and more quiet and more clean and more peaceful, that means it's more and more livable for people. Which is also, in that sense, part of the issue kind of see discourse-wise, is that a lot of the issues we're facing are being proposed as being neutral. Whereas there's so much ideology behind the idea that the city needs to be clean and quiet in order to be more livable. Because I'm not like that. I know plenty of people who are not like that. And so in some way, shape or form, that's kind of forgotten when we talk about people who flock to nightlife to kind of have this sort of life. Because on the one hand, not everybody enjoys raving till 6 a.m. But I do believe that everybody enjoys getting together with the people they love. They enjoy listening to music. They enjoy dancing, good food, good drink, unwinding, taking things a little bit slower. So in that sense, I do think that nightlife is for everybody. Night culture is for everybody, and whether you decide to do that during the day or during the night, I don't even care. But as long as we don't forget that there is a different way of life that's possible. About a third to a quarter, between a quarter and a third of people have a different biological clock in the sense that they are nighttime creatures. or evening creatures. So we're not just talking about like a niche of society, we're talking about a massive democratic deficit. Wherein a quarter to a third of your population wants to live their life a certain way, and politics isn't responding to that. When it comes to transportation, when it comes to social safety, when it comes to health, which foods are available, which shops are open, so there are so many basic necessities which aren't still taken care of by our governments. And I feel like we need to be a little bit stricter in that.
Yeah, like, what do you think is missing in Amsterdam, especially its nightlife? I read this, I think it was the gemeente website, but you were speaking about nightlife and like public places are locked at night and like there's no night markets and like you put like cinemas that are open and like restaurants, they all close at 10 and just like spaces to hang out at. Because it feels like in Amsterdam it's only like nightclubs pretty much after a certain hour. Like, bars close at 1 and then like after that it's just nightclubs. Like, how do you feel about that?
But don't forget, there's always the hotel breakfast.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I fully agree with that in the sense that I think there's a lot of interesting shit happening in the city. Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of, we're not calling nightclubs, but all these organizations involved in records or in fashion or in art who are also in some way, shape or form involved in nightlife. Or we just mentioned the drag cabaret, and we're talking about this crossover between academics, drag queens, and a sex club. Yeah. So a sex theater, pardon my French. So I feel like in that sense, there's so much crossovers happening, there's so much transference happening. I'm not sure if I fully agree with that. Okay. But I feel like what is strong in Amsterdam, of course, the fact that we have a very strong history of particular sounds, in varying amounts of techno. So I feel like, that has, of course, just changed the way we see nightlife and how nightlife have shaped in our city. Yeah. But I do think there's so much interesting stuff happening. Yeah. Is a Pata a nightlife organization? They're music-based, they're culture-based, they operate at night, but they all operate during the day. If a restaurant is involved in the local community and then also during the night decides to throw a DJ set, all these different free spaces, broedplaatsen, who throw these amazing shows at night. There's ballroom, there's theater, there's so much happening. Yeah.
Do you feel like there should be restaurants? Because I think that's something that shocks. I've just heard it from so many tourists that like come and visit. They're actually shocked about how little like shops are open or restaurants are open later. Because in like Spain, if you go, you can go out to eat at like 11 p.m. in a lot of places. So like, how do you feel about that? Do you think there should be a space open for that, or is there a reason for why it's closed?
All right, well, let's start with one thing. How disappointing would it be if I was like, well, actually, I think it's great that we can get soggy kebabs after 8 o'clock. No, I don't necessarily. I think it's maybe part of two things. I think on the one hand, we Amsterdammers are great at wasting our city in the sense that, if you go to Paris, if there's one thing the Parisians know, it's how to, enjoy their city without necessarily having to do something. Yeah. We're never in public places just to be there. The whole idea of flâner, of, just walking through the city, enjoying the atmosphere, I think we don't do enough. It's tourists walking around the city, but once you mention to Amsterdammers, hey, why don't you just take a brisk walk in the evening? You kind of see it's like, oh, maybe I should do that more often. Yeah. And I think that's part of the culture in that sense. If we start talking about Spain, for example, there is a very strong idea of, at night we move into the streets and their life continues. I think that's also, it's a self-strengthening circle. Yeah. That, I did mention, I think there would be space for a night market in Amsterdam. More restaurants, maybe some terraces. Have life out on the street. It makes it safer, it makes it more alive. The only people who think that the best city at night is one that's quiet and deserted are the people asleep. Yeah. And I don't think we should necessarily let those asleep and those dead make the choices for those alive. So I think that's maybe part of the issue. And then there's this false dichotomy, which has been very strongly ingrained in the public debate here in Amsterdam. And I think that's a particularly fickle one to kind of work through from a policy perspective. And that's the sense that we often seem to think that there's either a 24-hour economy or the way we have it now. Yeah. And nothing in between. Yeah. And that's something which is just factually not true. There's no reason why, if we didn't necessarily, I'm not sure if the audience could hear that, the door slammed. And I'm deaf on this ear, so I kind of had to readjust a little bit. I had to lip read a little bit, so that's why. No, so I think again we need to be more creative in that sense. I feel like there's one of the most problematic issues when it comes to nightlife in the city is the fact that we are so bound by all these ideas and these dogmas which we don't even realize about how nightlife could operate. But I think that, I don't know, for example, just making sure if we're talking about reclaiming the city center, if we're talking about making sure that there's something to do for young people at night, if we're talking about making sure people feel safe at night and don't feel like the streets are, this deserted wasteland, which it can often feel if you're like, walking out there and you're the only one. Or worse, you don't know if you're the only one. So I think there's, the answer to a lot of our issues is having more people out on the streets. And the only reason we're not doing it is because we're a little bit scared of what that might entail. And I think that's a lack of creativity. And where we can learn a lot from countries in Southern Europe, countries in Eastern Europe, Asia, South America, So basically, I would say, Australia, basically the rest of the world seems to have figured this one out, and we would be the only place where that wouldn't be possible. So no, that's one of the issues where I do indeed still disagree with city government. Mm-hmm. I would love a night market. How cool would that be? Yeah. They're just nice spaces to be. That's the thing. There's such a lack of third spaces in the city, of places where people just kind of come for nothing more than to connect. Yeah. And I feel like we kind of had this. All right, so I better introduce this sentence properly, otherwise I'm going to get hate mail. Clearly, the lockdowns during COVID were not enjoyable, and I did not necessarily have fun. Yeah. However, I think one of the few things what were enjoyable was seeing more and more terraces out on the streets. Now, clearly, that's also an issue of accessibility. It should never cross out the sidewalk for the degree where old people and disabled Amsterdammers aren't able to get there. However, beyond that, it was fun to kind of see our streets alive, and see like all these people pop up and kind of enjoy their city a little bit more. So I think if you're clever and you kind of make sure that there's not too much happening in one particular area, but it's maybe a little bit spread out, I think this would absolutely better the quality of life in Amsterdam. Yeah. Especially during the summer. Yeah. There's such a heat that's still going to be stuck in our apartments for hours and hours after we get home, and instead of being able to move out into the street. And maybe enjoy a snack or enjoy a wine. I don't know why the word snack came out like that. Maybe it's the Yiddish Ashkenazi culture. When I get emoted, I'll start throwing in shushers. Yeah. But no, I think that would absolutely improve the quality of life for a lot of Amsterdammers.
Yeah, cool. No, I agree with that. So to wrap up, I was wondering, so one question I have, of course, as the night mayor, what are your favorite spots?
Oh, that's a good one. And that's also the one I never answer. It's kind of like, do you have favorite kids? Everybody knows your parents have a favorite child. You just also know that they're never going to tell you. So let me maybe keep it painfully vague. Now, all right, so a lot of people know that I like places young by... No, fuck it. No, those are my secrets. I enjoy everything. Okay, gatekeeping. No, I'm not. No, I'm not gatekeeping, but I actually wanted to mention a few places, and I remembered they told me, please don't mention us in interviews, because we want to be gatekept. But for example, we were talking about the Fig Garden, which I think is brilliant. I love Garage Noord. Yeah. I love the Mines. I love Frankrijk. I love Malumelo. I used to be a programmer at the Vondelbanker, so clearly that's always going to have a special place in my heart. There's a Nachtbar is great. Honestly, I've had great nights at Bourbon Street. I know it's a little... So that's going to be my hot take, maybe thrown in there. I think I enjoy Bourbon Street, and I'm not ashamed to admit that.
Okay, cool.
There's so much happening. Soundgarden, I enjoy.
I love Soundgarden, especially in the sun.
Oh, brilliant! They have one of the best terraces in the city. I think that's absolutely. I've had great parties at Ten Club. I love the parties happening at Fuse and these Fuse.
I've never been.
They're not there as much anymore. They used to be there a lot more in the past. And we organized a few things there. There was like this toilet rave, which I very much enjoyed. Okay. I like any door open space. I like any place that's a little bit weird, a little bit nutty. That the colors outside of the box a little bit. And that's what I say that I kind of enjoy everything. Is that I come from punk and techno, mostly trance, from where I kind of started. But I've spent years very much enjoying working in the hip hop scene. I was a songwriter for hip hop musicians, so that's something I enjoy very much. I enjoy metal, I enjoy jazz, blues, funk, house. So there's as long as there's a little spirit behind it. Yeah. So I'm not a music snob, but I do want there to be just a little spark of madness. Because if there isn't, then
It's flat.
It doesn't necessarily separate as much from what we can enjoy during the day. So, and that's also the best part. I'm out 5 nights a week. So when I say I enjoy going everywhere, I can safely say I enjoy going everywhere because I have to go everywhere.
Yeah, fair. Is there anything that we can, as Dutch people, or especially like Amsterdam born and raised people, expats and tourists alike, like what should we do? Like how should we keep the city alive? I don't know if that question makes sense to you.
No, I think so. It's like, what's the personal responsibility in all this?
Yeah.
I think for a big part, if you want your city to be a free haven, that's a little bit more tolerant, a little bit more kind, then that demands us to also be as kind and as tolerant as we can be.
Yeah.
I think we need to be vigilant within our scenes. I think that's there's always this confusion sometimes, or not necessarily confusion, but this conflation between community and industry, between the sector and our spaces, and there's a lot of discourse. But at the end of the day, if a space feels like family, if a space feels like home, treat it like family and treat it like home. And I think that calls for a different form of action than just being there, as your place of work. Yeah. I think you need to spend money to a certain degree. I'm sorry. I think either spend money or spend time. Yeah. Because volunteering is also labor. Yeah. I'm not saying write a big fat check. Because that's kind of also the problem with some of our projects, is that we all really want to, but we're not all necessarily the wealthiest Amsterdammers. Yeah. But spend your time and spend your energy. Actually participate, because it's very easy to stand on the sidelines and complain. Mm-hmm. But if you're not actually there, then you are at least somewhat complicit in it disappearing. Yeah. And also make your voice heard. Vote with your heart, in the sense that use your right to vote for people who actually defend your rights and who see you as a valuable contribution to the city. Organize in whatever way you can, especially in the neighborhood. If you see your neighborhood changing and you know that nightlife could have a positive impact there, don't wait until somebody else does it. Get involved. Because that's the thing. At the end of the day, we're a city that operates as a village, and we're kind of a village that operates as a city. We need people involved. So I think if there's one thing you need to do, it's be tolerant, be kind, and get involved.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
It's so fucking hot in here, isn't it?
It got really hot.
It's even hotter than it is outside.
Yeah, I turned off the aircon because...
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, because otherwise it would be on the background, but I'll turn it on again so it gets cooler here. But yeah, maybe I'll just cool off outside now.
That might be brilliant.
Thank you so much for joining. This has been such a cool talk.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. So last question, what music should we play?
What music should we play?
Did you manage to give it a thought? Amsterdam, or just anything you like?
All right, well, an Amsterdam klassieker could be... You know what? No, let's do... Wait. Maybe there's something I just told you. Everybody knows me as a punk guy. Nobody knows me as a hip-hop guy. Okay. So maybe I'll just put something I was listening to on the way. Yeah. Because people often have ideas about what it could sound like. But at the end of the day, I feel like if we're talking about good music comes from necessity, there isn't one particular hip-hop sound. Yeah. And I've lately been listening to... let's say, what shall we do? Maybe... KFC Santeria. Wait, let me play that.
Yeah, you can type it in.
Yeah, so then the Sudan Archives remix. And that's how I prefer my music. Queer, proud of your culture, and vehemently anti-fascist.
Amazing. Okay, we're gonna play.
Then maybe Bloed, Zweet and Tranen if you want something Dutch, I guess.
Okay, amazing. All right, thank you so much for being on. Thank you for everybody for listening. And this is the season finale of Through the Rabbit Hole with Leah on Slim Radio. So we'll catch you soon in some other way, shape, or form. Now we'll listen to KFC Santeria.
All the boys want a piece of my thick. I make them eat it, yeah, I make them my bitch. All the boys want a piece of my thick. I make them eat it, eat it. I make them eat it, eat it. Pussy Michael Jackson beat it, make him feed it, feed it. Then his number I delete it, he might eat it, eat it. But this pussy got a prenup, don't call Peter, Peter. When I do my Santeria, all the hoes tryna lick on my bitch. No broke bros, I be telling them I be telling them shit. Hey baby get rich, miss me with that shit. I'm tryna get lit, I'm tryna pop up in the club with my bad bitches. Tryna shock 'em with this mug, got my gram with me. Shaking booty, shaking butt, shaking ass women. Call us in sucking blood till the sun risen. Playing the fiddle under full moon blue light. Got the band drinking cornbread moonshine. Cincinnati West African bloodline. It's a black underground where my love lies.
Deep fried, juicy looking rice, swing, stick thighs. You want my head? Deep fried.
fuck with gay boys, they's bad bitches and dykes. Yeah, the redneck, thick butt sluts my type. Yeah, the big breast, big dick dolls my kind. Yeah, they tell me how to fight, so I'ma fight for their rights. Fuck Trump, fuck ICE, free Palestine. I'ma say that shit again, free Palestine. It's American dollars from the genocide, but the people waking up, we got open eyes. KFC Santeria, anima GM, Oz, I'ma eat 'em. Cantila PMS, no vaina. I'm doing KFC Santeria. I'm doing KFC Santeria. Anima GM, Oz, I'ma eat 'em. Cantila PMS, no vaina. I'm doing KFC Santeria.
Big, deep fried, juicy looking breast, wings, thick thighs. You want my dick? Deep fried, juicy looking breast, wings.
So faggy, fucking gay. When I'm sniffing my poppers, white girl ain't woke, had to block her. Had to take her out back to the butcher shop. Had to make a ham dinner out that hookah hop. This boy bought him, gon' boycott him like fuck all them big core, belong, weak jaws, the beast bottom. The poor starve while the rich get rich. I might have to mangionium, pull the trigger. Ooh, might get shadow banned for saying that. Might get fucked tonight, I'm shaving that. Daddy's in my DMs trying to pay for that. Yeah, they love to see me shaking ass. Redneck Jesus speaking in parables. Plant your seeds and watch them turn to marigolds. Demons laying out here like a miracle. In this new king culto America. KFC Santeria. Anima GM, Oz, I'ma eat 'em. Cantila PMS, no vaina. I'm doing KFC Santeria. I'm doing KFC Santeria. Anima GM, Oz, I'ma eat 'em. Cantila PMS, no vaina. I'm doing KFC Santeria.
Deep fried, juicy looking breast, wings, thick thighs. You want my dick? Deep fried, juicy looking breast, wings, thick thighs. You want my dick? Dick, 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 thick.
I slice, cut the bullshit out of my life. Like bye bitch, I don't have time. No, they ain't no them in my life. It's off with the heads I slice. Cut the bullshit out of my life. Like bye bitch, I don't have time. No, they ain't no them in my life. It's off with the heads I slice. Sipping on that green tea, I shit talk, we kiki. These bitches look the same, no seasoning, no taste. Apocalyptic when I pull up on a pale horse. Might get blood on your Dior, you've been fair warned. I am the move of God that my abuelita prayed for. I am the victory one that my ancestors paid for. I am the dragon of fire breather, a motherfucking flamethrower. Bow, 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 get the fuck out of my face, horse.